Hello everybody, it's patch day. We have pretty much the same exact patch from public test patch. Some interesting changes, to say the least. Mistland's armor and shield recipes rebalanced and durability increased. Why is their durability up? I don't know. Seems pretty useless, just repair it. Just repair it. Just repair your stuff. That's it. Just repair your stuff. If they were gonna give it a benefit, give the carapace, one of the carapace pieces, fire resistance. There, simple, easy. That's a good benefit. Stabs have rebalanced recipes and stats. Let's actually check that out. So, let's head over to the Galder table. Staff of Protection. Parry bonus 2x. Oh. Okay. So that's normal. It's now the same as the others. Doesn't feel very protecting in that way. I think it should have stayed at like, I mean, at least give it like 3x. Like, come on. Looks like, did these always cost 16? I felt like they cost 15 before. And then this armor, I don't know if the durability was always the same, but this is really good durability. It's less than this light armor. That's fine. Yeah. I feel like these item costs were upped by 1, which is odd. Dead Razor, Rancid Remains was changed to 4 skeleton trophies. It's alright, it's okay. It's fine, I guess. I would have preferred a improved drop rate on the Rancid Remains trophy. But that's okay, you know. Skeleton trophies, you get a lot of them. So that's fine. Let's see. Mistland's armor. 1200 at quality 1, that's fine, I guess, but it's not anything to really care about. Shield. 200 durability, it's fine. What does mine have? 250 at quality 2? What is this? 200 now? It's fine too, that's okay. That's just fine. Would still really like more upgrade tables, or more upgrade to the Black Forge. That would be nice. Or the Galder table, you know? That would be cool. I would appreciate that. Let's go over here. Check this out. Well, you notice a lack of rugs? I've already got a rug down here somewhere. Under here, it's probably the deer rug. I've gotten rid of all of the new rugs. And Locke's rug and Jute rug. And the comfort remained the same. This is our max comfort now, 17. Because they changed comfort from different carpets so that they no longer stack. Why they did this? I don't know. No idea. It was good. I mean, we already have rested over 21 minutes. Like, let's say the argument was, oh, let's have this, let's limit rested to be only the amount of daytime. But that's 21 minutes. We have 24 minutes, 25 with the maypole, 23 if you don't have any of the seasonal items. That's more than a full Valheim day. So it's clearly not based off of the day. But what is it based off of? Dunno. Seems totally arbitrary. I like having all of the rugs stack up. I liked having the crystal wall stack up because seems like having actually sealed off windows would provide good comfort, right? Yeah, you would think. At least in the mountains. I don't know how you would code that, but you would think. But nope. Nope. We don't have that. Not even while it's raining or anything. Yeah. So we lost a comfort there a long time ago. This was in like a Hearth and Home patch. So we lost to that one comfort. And it's like, still annoying, but it's 1 minute. Here we lost 5 minutes. We lost 5 minutes. And why is that a problem? That's a problem because big dungeons are now going to be annoying. We're going to have to say, oh, goodbye, big dungeon. My rested ran out too early. And go back and get full rested. And you might be saying, I've never had that happen. Well, it's happened to me in a sunken crypt. In the swamp when I had 29 minutes of rested. It's happened to me. And that was an old dungeon before the new dungeon master, Eric, was brought on. The dev team. And he brought with him this wonderful new engine that made dungeons even bigger than that. So you could get dungeons like the Frost Caves or the Infested Mines, which will take more than 30 minutes to clear. And so now you have to say, good, oh, I know I'm almost done with this dungeon, but goodbye, dungeon. Gotta leave and get my rested up, because that's a smart thing to do. And it totally breaks the feel of the dungeon. And that's just really annoying. It's just like, where people, you know, in a sense of it making sense, like, were people ever upset that comfort stacked with rugs? What was the problem here? You know? We have a lot of things in this base that are very, very aesthetic. But they also have function. I'm going to show you one of them over here. This is our egg incubator. We call it the egg-cubator because it's shaped like an egg. It is lovely. You walk in here. You put the eggs down here. They're covered by these angled beams. They get incubated by the fire, and then they hatch. When the fire runs out, we jump down there, and then we come out this door, and out the side. The hens and newborn chickens can only run outside. They cannot run into the fire. This is a wonderful, wonderful combination of mechanics and aesthetics. The rugs, I don't think anybody's going to argue they were very aesthetic. Even having a whole bunch of them crowded around, that was the most aesthetic part of this crowd. Now, why is everything crowded here? Pure mechanics. And they have limited radius. Very limited. The hearth, it's like 4 meters comfort radius limited. Okay? The heat is like 8 meters or something like that. So, it's super arbitrary and leads to these weird, not very aesthetic combinations of comfort items crammed into a certain area. The rugs were the least problem. The least of the problems with that. I would have much rather they just upped the radius and then kept the comfort the same. I think they ought to fix the radius thing. Doesn't have to make it particularly large. You know, we don't have to be getting comfort, rested comfort 22 from like all the way over here. But maybe over here. If we had like a nice roof covering over here. That would leave plenty of space for good aesthetic design. Plenty. So I think they went the wrong direction there. They were I don't know who decided to do that. That seems absurd. I don't know. That's so weird. Seeker soldiers and Gyal spawn rate were tweaked. They can spawn now at the same level as troll spawns. That's fine. I think that's okay. I don't mind it at all. I mean, I didn't mind it previously, but I don't mind it now also. So, Secret AI changed. It's not a nerf like everybody's saying. People who claim that, oh, the Seekers are too easy now, you're not playing well. You're not. No chance. No chance in hell you're playing well. Because if you knew the optimization, if you knew the meta, you would know Sword, Mistwalker in particular, at gear, control plus effective damage equals all the spice in the world. This is how we deal with Seekers effectively. You can even go Battle Mage, where you spin to win, and if they're sent decently away with a knockback, you switch to Staff of Embers and you launch some fireballs at them. And it's ruthless. You can even switch to Spine Snap Bow from there, if they're still pretty, like, in the distance, and then you can combo with fire arrows to keep the DOT going. It's super good. Like, let me show you. Okay? I want to show you exactly what's gonna happen. Okay? So they circle around, and it's gonna be way easier for the Mistwalker to go up and combo them, because you're just flanking them for free. But it's gonna be way harder for Staff of Embers and him and Awful or Akir to get your spin to wins, because they're spaced really oddly. And then the knockback sends them X, Y, and Z different locations, and all of a sudden, now it's a lot harder to follow up. So you have to think well. And I'm fine with thinking in these quick situations. I enjoy that. That's very skillful. And also, I really enjoy, considering how strong light armor is, having able to run up to targets really quickly in order to get good flanking and frost control on Seekers. So good. So let me show you exactly what I mean by how this AI is going to change things, okay? Here's me and my friend. We got a couple of Seekers, they're going right for us. We spin and we win with him and Awful. Go to Poke City when we need to, but because they're coming right for us, we can poke and roll if we need to. We don't even need to roll most of the time. We spin and we win. And because they are so predictable, they are dead easy. We spin and we win. Even, look, no rested, wet. Look at this. So predictable, we know exactly what they're going to do, and that's because of their current AI. Their current AI and the old Fulling AI made them easier with Atgear. They made them easier with the Atgear, and they're harder with Frostner. They're harder with Mistwalker. The AI change is a change. It is not a nerf. You see how we're handling these 1-stars? They are handled no problem. Boom. Handled. Now, let's go over here. Here I am, 1-star Seeker. I'm struggling, okay? I'm suffering. And then, what do? Hang on. Let's go back. Let's watch that one more time. What do? I sprint over, I flank it, and I absolutely demolish it with the Mistwalker. You could do this before, but it takes some good spacing when they're coming right at you, because all of their attacks are fairly linear. So if they're all coming right at you, and there's a group of them, Mistwalker struggles in that situation. Frostner struggles in that situation. But it's going to be made easier because of this change. Now, let's also check this. So here's me with Frostner. My friend has a Mistwalker. And what rolls up on us in this infested mine? A 2-star Seeker. However, we basically simulate the AI change because it's aggroed on somebody. Basically, the flanking is free. If they wander around, the flanking is free. If they're aggroed on somebody else, the flanking is free. Look how we bully this 2-star Seeker. Free flanking. We get the combos. Look at my friend. He's demolishing this poor thing. Look at him go! What chance does he have? Oh, it's just demolished. It's no chance, okay? So, people will say that it's an outright nerf. It is a indirect nerf to Atgear strats, and an indirect buff to Mistwalker strats, to Frostner strats, to Frost Arrow strats. But really just Mistwalker strats. So, there will be some situations where Mistwalker will pop off. Some situations which the Atgear, the Himinafa, will pop off. The scale of which one will pop off when has been tipped in favor of the Mistwalker. That's what this AI change does. That's all it does. It's not a nerf. It is a change. Whether you like it or not, subjective. Totally subjective. Okay, there's some good arguments for each one. Now, let's see. I want to read off some of these points. Let me know what you agree with, okay? Let me find it. So, here's one that is for the change, okay? Person says, for as long as the player attacks have no verticality at all, I am loving the Secret AI revamp. At least now I can try to position myself on a relatively even plane mid-combat instead of getting knocked back into oblivion while swinging at the air above my enemies' heads. And nope, not having to use a hoe, to level terrain mid-combat is not good game design. When you let us hit things 1 pixel above or below us, you can make Seekers aggressive again. So I get that, I understand the perspective. And then we have this other person, which I also understood. This person says, personally, I think it's a bad idea to make Seekers less aggressive in combat. Many other enemies in the game, such as Fullings and Draugr, use circling group tactics. To differentiate the Seekers and make them a more unique and varied foe, they should maintain their aggressive pack tactic behavior, much like how wolves currently behave. There is no reason to make Seekers behave any different if players get dogpiled and killed. That should signal to them that their combat strategies need to adapt. So, both of them are coming from a good place. There's some subjectivity in them, but they are also getting into a underlying point of verticality in positioning, which honestly, I don't mind being good with positioning and trying to encourage good positioning, but I also really love having to hit and aim at things a little bit above or below your vertical level. Like, that would be wonderful and fine. So they're both coming from good perspectives. Neither of them make the argument that, like, Seekers are now babies now. Ooh, they're babies now. What a joke. You know, it's Fullings. Anybody with decent Atgear experience can understand that Fullings and locks and other circling enemies, sometimes they will change direction slightly. They'll change their angle. And your spin to win whiffs. And you have to be on your toes for what happens next. Maybe they're going for you next. Maybe you got to be careful. You got to get ready to parry, or you got to get ready to back up and roll, or whatever. It's exciting. It's thrilling. I love it. It's a subjective thing, but it has real influence on Atgear play and Frost play. Like Mistwalker and Frostner. Real impact on that, okay? Alright. Let's see. Head back to the patch notes. Mistland Seeker event tweaked. It will no longer trigger in meadows, swamps, mountains, or ocean. It will no longer spawn Seeker soldiers, and the amount of Seekers and Brutes have been rebalanced. I think people have been duped by building YouTube channels. that you can just build aesthetically, no problem, and then the raids won't be an issue. All of these aesthetic building channels, and I love me some aesthetic building channels, they are building in debug mode, and they are building art pieces. They are not for actual gameplay purposes, okay? You have been baited into thinking that you could just build while your world progresses and you won't get your shit destroyed by raids. This is bait. You've taken the bait. You made a grave mistake, and now the Seekers have come and you were not prepared. Bats. The bat raid, you should be on your toes for flying creatures. You should be ready. The Drake raid, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You gotta have sniper's nests, or a lot of good roofs like we do. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared to leave your base early. You have to be prepared to have a extra stockpile of your tamed animals, maybe a piggy bank. You gotta be prepared. Also, you have to have a decent level of combat awareness, because a really good way to stop enemies from attacking your base is to go outside, because they will prioritize you over your base. And if you bring them all around you, should be okay. You know, you can just do accurate strats, lure the Seekers around until they stop spawning, and then just go him and at good polearm levels, you should be able to middle mouse and stagger even a Seeker soldier. So I don't think the raid was really an issue. It still happens in the Black Forest, so if you got a Black Forest base, you're still fucked. If you have a Plains base, which you probably at least have a Plains outpost because of the farming, if that's raidable, you're still fucked. I don't think the soldier and the broods, like, I mean, there's less broods now, but like, I don't think those were really the issue that people had with the raid. The issue was the flying Seekers, and I gotta say, considering we now have black marble build piece, which is even stronger than stone, have some stone walls, or have some combat knowledge, and then you can exit your base and go fight the guys. Make an at gear, level up some polearms at a Grey Dwarf nest. You'll want to have a Grey Dwarf nest anyway to farm wood and stone for your builds. So while you're doing that, level up your polearms. Take it easy. Be calm, collected. You spin and we win. Of course, now that the AI has been changed, Froster and Mistwalker, go to town, preferably Mistwalker, and it really should be no problem. I mean, should be no problem. So I really don't get why they nerf the raids, but builders eating good. Builders are eating good today. Builders are having a great time in the meadows from now on. Amazing time. Ballista changes. They've changed ballista ammo. They've changed ballista fire rate. And then sound effects and all that. They've tweaked the targeting behavior. Ooh, what does that mean? Maybe they don't target you anymore? No, they still target you. They still target you, and as long as they do that, I won't have one in my base. I mean, I already don't have that much problem with enemies and flyers in the first place, so whatever. Plus, okay. If the flyers are too high above the ballista, they won't even be able to target it anyway. And the flyers will just destroy the ballista. Ooh, what a useful item that is. Yeah. Totally not a design failure. Totally. Anyway. Speaking of flyers, the y'all, they have been tweaked. Not just their spawn rate. They shoot one projectile instead of two. Super easy mode now, basically. I originally thought they shot three. I was wrong. But I was acting and dodging and moving as if they shot three. When I had realized that they shot too, dodging them was a whole lot easier. Taking them out was a whole lot easier. Draugr Frost Arrows, switch to Spine Snap, Frost Arrows. Feather Cape makes it a lot easier. But even before I had Spine Snap, even before I had Feather Cape, get yourself some Fire Res, whether that be Full Fenris or Barley Wine, and get yourself a nice stack of Frost Arrows and go to town. Shouldn't be too bad. Get yourself a nice sledge for the ticks. Helps a lot in the infested mines with the broods and the eggs. Yeah. Sledge deals with that, no problem. Super easy. Never really had an issue with that. And now that they only shoot one, it's going to be really not too much of a something to sneeze about. I mean, it's going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy. They didn't really have to make that change, especially because now luring them over to Dvergr is going to be way less effective. And they did not add an alternate way to deal with the Dvergr. We can't trade with them. They didn't add that. So, a bit of a problem. They also didn't change the aggro on the Y'all either, because now, even though they're less effective, it's still just as hard to lure them through the mist over to the Dvergr outpost. It's still just as hard. Still just as annoying. Best strategy you gotta do is use the harpoon, but that's super stamina intensive, and if you find a seeker or a soldier in the meantime, then having that low stamina is also a negative. So it's just pain, royal pain, one way, the other way, and the third way. So I don't understand the change. Don't understand it. Hair running speed slightly decreased. Thank you. Best change on here. Love it. Super easy to get hairs now and then get Mist Hair Supreme. I love that change so much. Thank you, Iron Gate. Credit where credit's due. That's really nice. Let's see. Tetrabait uses Fenring Trophy instead of Ulf Trophy. If anybody's going through the game in normal progression, I don't think anybody is going to be... I don't think anybody is going to be going out at night in the mountains like, oh yeah, let me just like farm up some Fenrings, even though there could be like a pack of several 1-star and a 2-star wolf that's just gonna destroy me up in these hills. Like, who does that? Like, people will do Frost Caves and they will get Ulf trophies by the score. I think I would have just added Ulfs to the mountains. Like, I would have put them in some of the ruins. Yeah. Just as a sign, like, oh, the people that were once here were corrupted by the Ulfs, and there are some of them here. Like, I think that would be cool. Like, to have an Ulf spawn point at one of the, or some of the ruins on the mountainside. And I think that would fix the problem of the Ulf trophy being non-renewable. And you also wouldn't have to spend a royal pain hunting Fenrings for Fenring trophies. Yeah. Yeah. I think this change is weird. Fish in mountain caves will respawn correctly, and a small additional lake added. Good. Glad they respawn now. Glad there's more, there's an additional generation, lake generation for the caves. That way the fishing progression, which is already kind of janky, is slightly less janky, but also slightly more janky considering the tetrabait. Let's see. Bunch of minor fixes and things. Yeah, they fixed a lot of animations, lighting errors, main character viewing on the main menu errors. Fixed an issue which could cause the Mistlands boss to escape. Thank you. Good. Glad that's fixed. Glad it hasn't happened to me. That's nice. Yeah, they fixed a bunch of basic, simple stuff like that. And then sound, music, animations, and textures have been optimized to save around 485 MB of RAM and to decrease the download speed of Valheim by approximately 420 MB. Cool. That's good. Love optimization. Love that. So overall, these patch notes are super weird. I don't know what to make of them, other than like a lot of them seem very unnecessary, and unnecessary in a way that like I'm neutral on. But then there are some which they are very unnecessary, as in like they're just bad. Overall, it's like you giving me this bean boozled jelly beans that could have these rotten flavors, and there's only two good jelly beans out of a thing of like 30. So, eh. I hope things are fixed in the future. But this was a extremely meh patch, and yeah, some of these things I don't know who they're listening to. Certainly not us. All right, let me know what you think. I don't want to see people calling that secret AI change. I don't want to see them calling it a nerf. It's not a nerf. It's a change. But I'll see you guys some other time.